Good afternoon and welcome to the 2024 European Junior Powerlifting Championships here in Pilsen, Czech Republic. Earlier today for you we had the 63 kilo and 93 kilo B groups, and now we have for you the A group. So we'll see the numbers jump around a little bit, and that'll be due to having had the B groups perform already. But we have some huge numbers and big battles coming up for us, and I think we're in for a bit of a treat.
Absolutely, yeah. This two flight looks very interesting, very good. Very wide ranges of openers on all lifts and different kind of specialists. So it'll be interesting.
Absolutely. And you know what? Those at the top now in all flights, all weight classes, all age categories are slowly becoming less individual specialists and more total specialists, and you'll see that with the lifters fighting for that number one spot. There'll be a fight in the 63s for gold between Betty Abora of the Netherlands and Lucy Robinson of Great Britain, and then there will be a fight for the bronze between Westberg from Sweden and Moore from Great Britain, not counting out either Zapoczna from Poland. So it's going to be really, really exciting, the whole way through. Huge numbers coming up, and of course Abora being the open world record holder in the deadlift, some huge numbers coming up, I'm sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
And kicking us off in the A group we have Ainhoa Pradas Lozano from Spain, opening on 125 kilos. Nice conservative opener, the personal best of 142.5.
We've been seeing big jumps from the beginning of this championship, so I wouldn't be surprised for here to be the case.
And often we see certain countries have particular styles in the way that they jump as well, so that usually tracks when we watch it.
That's true as well.
Very powerful opener.
Yeah, we're in for big jumps. That look very easy, very explosive.
3 white lights, a good lift.
Nice hair flip in the face of the spotter too.
Yeah, I do enjoy those when we see those occasionally.
Bonus points for style.
Now one of the few Swedish lifters we've seen in this championships, Astrid Edvardsson from Sweden, 142.5 kilos for her opening squat, 7.5 kilos below her personal best.
6 years of experience behind her belt. That's huge for a 21 years old lifter.
That is absolutely massive. Still 2 years left in the juniors, so lots of growth to come, I'm sure. A little bit tough towards the top there, but it still looked like a nice opener.
And we've seen great coaching from the Swedish staff, so we're expecting them to adapt. They've been great during all championships this year.
Fresh out of the sub-juniors, we have Skye Moore from Great Britain. Big up-and-comer, only 3 years lifting experience. Going to be fighting for a bronze medal today overall, so every kilo counts. Opening 147.5.
Fresh out the sub-juniors and fighting for podium spot already. That sounds very promising, Amelia.
It absolutely does. I'm looking forward to seeing what she can put up, not just today, but over the next few years.
No big deal.
No, that was a fantastic opener. 3 white lights, a good lift. Yeah, it's always really exciting, like you said, to see individuals who've come straight from the sub-junior already up and fighting with those juniors who maybe are aging out.
Absolutely. The age gap in the junior is huge. A 4 to 5 year spread, and being competitive fresh out the sub-juniors, that's huge.
150 kilos for Elsa Prandi Marino from Spain.
I've seen her compete at the Pyrenees Cup. I know she can grind out a squat, so let's see how this one moves.
That was a lovely opener for Elsa. 3 white lights, a good lift. And just for those at home who may not know what the Pyrenees Cup is, could you explain that?
It is a friendly meet for my under 25-year-old between France and Spain. It is held a year in France, a year in Spain. This year it will be held in France. Last year it was in Malaga.
Wonderful.
So nice competition to prepare the juniors and under 25 for open competitions.
Clara Huller from Belgium, 152.5 kilos.
She used to be a 57. I think it's her second international competition at 63. Let's see how she develops.
Yeah, a lot of these competitors only competed a few weeks ago in Malta at Junior Worlds.
Great use of the low bar position.
And that's a good lift, 3 white lights. Yeah, really nice and controlled the whole way. You don't often see many lifters looking down the entire time. It can throw off some lifters' balance, but it works really nicely for her.
Absolutely, yeah. Very controlled.
Elena Ziccaro from Italy, 155 kilos. Another lovely opener, not too much to say on that.
It is not so often that we see a thumb under the bar in the women's squat division, so usually the women's are more mobile than the men's, and that's why wrapping the thumb under the bar is not used often, but this time she does. Seems to be working great for her.
Sometimes it's just what feels more comfortable to an individual lifter. Now, also potentially fighting for a podium spot, we have Victoria Saptonczka from Poland.
And back-to-back thumb under the bar, just to make me lie a bit more.
Maybe more common than you think.
Yep. Oh, a bit grindy for first.
Yeah, a little bit more work than maybe she would have expected, but it's a good lift. We've seen many times, though, lifters just shake off some nerves or change something slightly, and it looks better on their second, and let's hope that's what the case is today.
For some lifters, it is hard to get prepared to lifting on the stage because it makes for a different point of view, and they need to set their eyes differently, so let's see if she adapts.
And our third lifter contending for that podium bronze overall, Hilma Westerberg from Sweden, opening on 160 kilos, 7.5 kilos below her personal best. And in a good position to fight for a squat medal as well. It's a good lift. Definitely not the quickest we've seen, not the slowest we've seen.
I don't know what that was for.
I think the centre referee just asking her to leave through the back of the rack, not the front of the rack next time around.
In France, we call this the Gavin rule.
We now have favourite to win, Betty Abora from the Netherlands. Open world deadlift record holder. Opening on 162.5 kilos. She'll be contested today by Robinson from Great Britain, but really is hers to lose.
And not bad for an open world record in the deadlift to open almost last in the squat event.
And she will be as well towards the end in bench. She's a very well-rounded athlete. Wow.
Smooth opener.
3 white lights, a good lift, and that's what it takes to be at the top.
We're in for a good performance.
Absolutely. I'm sure it won't be without a fight, but what a way to start the competition.
Even on the replay, it looks fast.
Now our final opener from this flight, we have Lucy Robinson from Great Britain, 172.5 kilos, opening 7.5 kilos below her personal best. And she's going to put up a big fight for that overall win against Abora.
And in the fight, those 8 years of experience are going to come in handy for sure.
Yeah, 8 years of experience, still another year left in the juniors. Lucy has been around a long time, and she keeps improving.
No trouble there either.
Yeah, you can see the experience with that opener. It's a lovely smooth lift, 3 white lights.
We've got 3 great coaching staff at the top of the squat battle: Great Britain, Netherlands, and Sweden.
Yeah, some of the best, you could say. And that concludes our opening squats. We head into the second round now with all 10 making their openers. Ainhoa Prades Lozano from Spain, jumping 7.5 kilos to 132.5 on her second attempt.
Dare I say, a smaller jump that we could have expected. The opener was very fast. The PB is well above this, so let's see.
Yeah, and it could be just the case that she... actually, you said she's got quite a good grind on her. Was that her teammate?
It was her teammate.
Okay, so it could just be a case that she squats fast until she doesn't. You can see a bit of a slowdown there, so maybe the 7.5 was a good decision from Team Spain there. Astrid Edvardsson from Sweden, 150 kilos for her second attempt. 7.5 kilo jump to match her personal best.
Only one lifter of the B group squatted more than this, so we are already in for some great squat action.
Yeah, it just shows the caliber of lifting here in the A group. Oh, big fight there from Astrid, and looked near top end to me.
Yeah, actually, yeah. She leads with the head, but she fights through.
Let's have a look at that again. It is a good squat. You can see the breakdown there in the middle where it really starts to slow down. So we'll see what they do for the third. I imagine maybe a 2.5 kilo jump even.
I will be conservative for sure.
Elsa Prandi Marino from Spain, 157.5 kilos, a 7.5 kilo jump. And like you said, you know that she can grind. Hopefully she doesn't have to on her second, but we'll see what she has.
Oh, wow. Very weird placement of the hip at the bottom. Then they kicked back. She paused, but couldn't push through. Very weird.
Yeah, let's look at that again in the replay, see if we can unpack that. Yeah, just shifted back a little bit there. And I do think that if she can correct that, she can come back for it on her third. 157.5 kilos for Sky Moore of Great Britain. This would already be a 2.5 kilo personal best for Sky, should she make this. And I think it made the biggest jump out of those looking for podium as well.
That's exactly what I was checking. Yes, she is.
still moving well. Great decision there.
She looks on form today, that's for sure. Great lifting from Skymore.
Elena Zuccaro from Italy, 160 kilos, a 5-kilo jump from her opener. Slowed down, but it was still a very smooth looking attempt.
Yeah, but very difficult to gauge what you can add onto this.
It really is. Hopefully she knows herself well and the coaches know her well, but you're right, watching it, it is hard to tell what you would put on because she slows down until she gets to a certain point and then it's very quick. Victoria Zapotoczna from Poland, 160 kilos, a 5-kilo jump.
Still very fast.
Yeah, I think that actually looked a little bit more comfortable than her opener. So bodes very, very well. Sarah Huller from Belgium, 160 kilos, 7.5-kilo jump from her opener.
Coached by Corentin Clément and looking to improve her total today. She could be on pace for a personal best, depending on how this one moves. Still very controlled on the way down, but much more of a fight.
It is a good lift, 3 white lights. I feel like perhaps, and correct me if you disagree, that matching her personal best would be the furthest I would go today.
That's where I would go to, looking at this one.
And that would be a 5-kilo jump from here.
You never know what can happen after this.
Yeah, absolutely.
She might creep up on the podium if someone missed the beat, so...
Honestly, it isn't that far between 3rd and 7th if somebody does myth. Hilma Westerberg from Sweden, 165 kilos, a 5-kilo jump, moving her into squat silver for the time being with Abora and Robinson to follow. So move her ahead of Abora.
Super low bar position. Great use of it.
3 white lights, a good lift. Yeah, it doesn't look out of place where she has the bar at all.
It doesn't move all throughout the lift, which is very difficult to do with this position.
Now to move back into squat silver from bronze, Betty Abora from the Netherlands, 170 kilos, 7.5-kilo jump. Her opener was very swift, very easy.
Yeah, it's the first time I'm seeing her in person. It is very impressive to see. A little pre-lift routine, ritual, dare I say. Very important for some of those lifters.
And it's
Very
still
impressive.
so quick.
Wow.
Wow, indeed. 3 white lights could have been her opener.
She's on point today.
And honestly, as long as she builds something, I was going to say respectable, it's definitely going to be respectable, but good for herself as a subtotal, we know she's got deadlift in hand.
She will have the last word for sure in the deadlift event.
Now, our final second attempt, we have Lucy Robinson from Great Britain, 180 kilos, matching her personal best, 7.5 kilo jump. Already has squat gold, so just secure that should she make this, as nobody's third attempt is higher than 180 kilos. I have no reason to doubt that she has this in the bag,
Me either.
but let's see how it moves. Yeah, another lovely looking second attempt and a good lift, 3 white lights.
Absolutely how I would expect the second attempt to move.
And I see a very enjoyable battle, at least for us, between Robinson and Abora today. And that concludes our second round of squats. Of course, Robinson leading, secured that squat gold with 180 kilos. Abora currently in silver with 170. And Westerberg currently in bronze with 165. Now head into the third round of squats. Ainoa Pradas Lozano from Spain, taking 140 kilos. Unfortunately not there. Seeing the bar began to roll up her back, her hip shot back, just lost position.
I felt like that play calling was questionable. It feels like she lost some kilos. The second attempt was very easy, making back-to-back 7.5 kilo jump. Isn't usually the move, so maybe they know something we don't, but that looks questionable to me.
$152.5 kilos for Astrid Edvardsson from Sweden, taking that 2.5 kilo jump. I think this is the smart decision, Team Sweden here. Like we said, they're very good at game day handling. Don't often see Team Sweden pick the wrong numbers. And that is proven right here.
Right on the money.
You could not add a kilo to that bar. 2 to 1, a good lift. Does get a depth call from the left side referee. But wow, she could not have lifted an ounce more.
And even depth was right on the line. That's a perfect third attempt.
Yeah, it's very, very good. Elsa Prandi Marino from Spain, reattempting 157.5 kilos.
We were questioning a technical issue during the second attempt, so let's hope for some corrections during the third.
Yeah, I know you mentioned that you've seen her with a big grind before, so if she wasn't in the right position to do so, that perhaps could have an effect.
Let's hope for better hip timing this time.
Ah, there we go, completely different lift.
Yeah, way different.
3 white lights, a good lift.
Two very different squat in terms of timing, and that results in a way better result, actually.
$162.5 kilos for Sky Moore from Great Britain, a 5 kilo jump from her second for a new personal best.
Entirely doable for Sky Moore. Let's go.
And it is still so easy.
She's very impressive, very precise.
Yeah, she's very good. 3 white lights, a good lift, and like we said, a very bright future ahead of her. Well, looks like she's in for a good day today as well. Let's not just look ahead, let's look at today as well. 165 kilos for Elena Zuccaro from Italy.
The lightest of the flight.
Yeah, 58.13 kilos.
Looks like a 57 that didn't want to cut to me. So very impressive to be matching these 63s that are full-on 63s.
That's a lovely third attempt from Elena. Three white lights, a good lift.
And you were right, Amelia. You make the right prognosis. It is 165 for Claraolo.
Yeah, Claraolo now from Belgium, 165 kilos. I think that is definitely the top end of the jump that we would have suggested. This would match her personal best.
On the way down, it looked like the previous attempt, but as the weight got heavier, she couldn't keep balance on the way up.
Yeah, I think it's difficult as well in the manner in she squats. She's quite leant over, and it just bent her over a little bit more in the hole this time, I think. Victoria Zapatoczna from Poland, 167.5 kilos. 7.5 kilo jump, and this will move her into squat bronze for the time being. Gold and silver already secured.
Oh, wow.
Huge effort there. Unfortunately, as she pushed through, the bar rolled up her back a little bit.
She almost got it back though. The knees worked in different ways, trying to get that bar back into position.
170 kilos for Hilma Westerberg from Sweden to move into squat bronze, ahead of Zuccaro. And if she gets this, she will keep squat bronze. And that is lovely. And she'll be fighting for that bronze medal overall, so every kilo counts. 3 white lights and walks away with squat bronze.
Once again, props to Team Sweden. Playing their cards right.
And she's ever so slightly lighter than Moore as well, so just needs to match Moore's total. Now our penultimate squat already has squat silver. This won't change that, but the extra 5 kilos certainly will help. It may mean that she has to pull 5 kilos less in deadlift. 175 kilos for a match personal best. 3 red plates aside for Betty Abora from the Netherlands.
Slow, steady and comfortable walkout for Betty.
It is a big fight, and she manages to do it.
I think she dropped into the hole faster than she expected.
Do you know what? I think she stayed in the hole longer than she expected as well. It's a good lift, and I think she surprised herself there. Look at that. Yeah, drops in a little bit harder than she had been. More of a fight than I think she was expecting.
Yeah, she's got heart for sure. What a fight.
And now our final squat of the 63s before we head through to the 93 kilo juniors. Lucy Robinson from Great Britain, 185 kilos. This leaves her just 8 kilos below the European junior squat record and 10.5 kilos below the world junior squat record. Already has squat gold. This is a huge amount of weight on the bar. Keeps her within 10 kilos of a Bora heading into bench press. And a bit of work, but she manages to stand it up. And 2-1, a good lift. Just a depth call from that center referee, but let's have a look from the sides. And I think that's the hardest I've ever seen Lucy have to work for a squat.
That looks good to me, but she's got white from the side, so I'm not surprised.
And that concludes the squats in the 63s. Walking away with squat bronze from Sweden with 170 kilos, we have Hilma Vesterberg. In squat silver with 175 kilos, walking away, we have Betty Bora from the Netherlands. And in squat gold with 185 kilos from Great Britain, Lucy Robinson. We now head straight through to the 93 kilo A group, where we will see who will walk away with which squat medals, who will start to build up a big, mean total for the rest of the day.
The biggest squat of the B group was 260 by Simon Penvaux, the Belgian.
And there'll be 5 lifters taking more than that for their opener in this A flight, which is absolutely monstrous. First lifter up, we have András Gerle from Hungary, 230 kilos. It's a very deep squat. 3 white lights, a good lift. Wow.
Yeah, maybe a bit too deep.
So the depth we're looking for is your hip crease to go just below the top of your knee joint, and you want it to be convincing. Anything past that is, I wouldn't say unnecessary, but it is extra than you need. But it's whatever's comfortable for the lifter. Luka Hugarek from Croatia, 232.5 kilos for his opening squat.
Perfect opener.
Yeah, nice and easy, 3 white lights. Next out, we have Stepan Romic from Croatia, 237.5 kilos. It's very, very easy looking opener.
And I would say this is what an optimized depth would look like.
Yeah.
Very convincing, yet not too deep.
Really usually depends on, you know, the biomechanics of the individual and their leverages, but I would agree, you want to find that sweet spot. Jonathan Lewis from Great Britain now, ex-holder of the junior deadlift world record taken by Nathaniel Messiah just a few weeks ago. In prognosis, in second place, with the Dutch lifter just behind.
GB really has some nice 93s.
Yeah, 242.5 kilos for Jonathan now. Extremely controlled squat on the way down.
Yeah, it's a demonstration squat.
Yeah, 3 white lights, a good lift. And we can see that again on the replay.
Very interesting belt position though for the squat. Very high.
It is very high up. Perhaps to do with the speed in which he squats.
Possibly, yeah.
Kerry Agabi from Ireland, 245 kilos for his opening squat.
Also a very deep squat.
Took the words out of my mouth. Another very deep squat. 3 white lights, a good lift. And the only reason we mention lifters squatting that deep is because sometimes the trade-off can be, you know, it's a little bit harder to get out of that position. Therefore, you'd maybe lose some kilos. But it's a wonderful squat.
And it could hurt them sinking the first squat so much, because once you cut it a bit more, the referees are going to ask themselves, is it deep enough? I've seen him squat deeper.
250 kilos for Jordi Corbella Edo from Spain. Wow. And that was a fast opener if I've ever seen one.
Spain really brought some squat machines to this championship.
Spain, and I say this every time in the last few championships, really coming up with a lot of good squatters in recent years.
They took a few records in the sub-juniors, the 74s, the 105s, 120s, I think so. They have Antonio Perez Barros in the 105 in the juniors, so
Yeah.
a great squat country.
Absolutely. Eric Nemec from Czechia, 252.5 kilos for his opening squat. 7.5 kilos below his personal best. Fresh out the sub-juniors, 19 years old.
A PB's in the cars for today, I think.
Yeah, I would certainly agree with that. I would imagine on his second attempt even.
At least matching it.
3 white lights, a good lift. We're starting to get into that weight class now. We're seeing those slightly bigger jumps. Isn't unusual, but we'll still get the slightly smaller ones peppered in as well. Isaac Asperud from Norway, 260 kilos for his opening attempt. And this will catapult him straight into silver, with still 4 lifters to follow, having the B group competed completely earlier. Three white lights, a good lift. We now have Semi Ogun from Germany, 260 kilos for his opening attempt.
And looks like he brought his support system with him. A part of the crowd has just stood up.
And although a little way off the podium positions right now, definitely in a good spot, especially if somebody slips up ahead of him, that he can push for one of those positions. He's It's a nice steady looking opener. And a good lift, 3 white lights. Denzel Gisberta from the Netherlands, 267.5 kilos for his opening squat. Immediately moves him into squat gold with 2 lifters to follow. Big contender for that bronze medal overall and maybe even the silver.
He looks massive for 93.
And that's lovely looking. 3 white lights, a good lift. And you do often see, especially in the juniors, a lot of lifters of different sizes and weight classes trying to figure out, you know, where that weight class that perfectly fits them is.
Yeah, they're still growing into the sport, and it's not unusual to see two classes difference between sub-juniors and open.
Yeah, and weighing at 91.43, still some room to grow into it. 270 kilos for Luca Umberto Angrisano from Italy.
Yesterday, an Italian won the 83s against Mensen, so may they go back to back?
It's a nice steady looking opener. 3 white lights, a good lift. I think he's got a little way to climb towards the podium today, but certainly can fight for a squat medal.
And I'm noticing that, especially in the squat events, Italians have a tendency to open harder than the other nations.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like I said, different countries tend to have different styles of coaching and jumps, and I think Italy tend to push a little closer to the max sooner. Now, our favorite for the overall with a significant lead in prognosis, Nico Lappi from Finland, 280 kilos for his opening squat, by far the biggest, with a personal best of 295.5. Interested to see how this moves. That is a good lift. 3 white lights, immediately catapults himself into squat gold. And
He just stood up.
yeah, I'd be surprised if he didn't stay there. And he is on for a big day today. And that concludes our opening squats with all 12 lifters getting a squat in on the board. Lappi leading with 280 kilos, just behind Angrisano with 270 kilos. And then Gisberta from the Netherlands with 267.5. Andras Galai from Hungary jumps 10 kilos to his second with 240 kilos.
This time maybe a bit too deep. It caught him.
Yeah, and that's what we were worried about with his opener. Something hopefully he can change, control it a little bit more into the hole. I think it was less deep than his opener, but still, perhaps just cutting him short there. Luka Hugorek from Croatia jumps 7.5 kilos to 240 for his second attempt. Still moving really nicely. 3 white lights.
He's doing his part for sure.
Another thing that doesn't help lifters is sometimes the nerves will make you squat deeper, sometimes it makes lifters squat higher, but a lot of lifters will train in front of a mirror, and then when that mirror is taken away, it's really hard to judge, you know, where that depth is.
Yeah, I wouldn't advise that at all. You're right.
250 kilos for Stepan Romic from Croatia. 12.5 kilo jump from his opener. And I can't imagine he's not coming out for it, so I'm wondering if he's just late to the platform. And
Maybe taking time to readjust his wrist wraps.
There he is with 32 seconds left on the clock. He just needs to get the squat command before the time runs out. Plenty of time to do so still. A minute is a lot longer than it feels on the platform.
Yeah, he's in no rush.
Yeah, and even with a little bit of a rush, moves well. 3 white lights.
Maybe another 7.5, maybe 10.
Yeah, I could see both of those being justifiable. 255 kilos for Jonathan Lewis from Great Britain. 12.5 kilo jump from his opener. 5 kilos below his personal best. And I've got to say, I think it moved just as well as his opener did.
Yeah. Still showcasing technique and great strength levels.
3 white lights, a good lift. And we're trying to see what the jump was from his first to his second there. It was 12.5 kilos, and honestly, if they wanted to, 12.5 more, I would say would be fair enough.
I would agree. I saw no differences.
Kerry Agabi from Ireland, 257.5 kilos for his second attempt. 12.5 kilo jump from his opener.
We are still way under what we have registered as his personal best. That jump seemed justified.
Yeah, it seemed like a good jump. It's a good lift. And I'm sure there are some other factors at play here to why that number is a little skewed.
Maybe he went down a class, maybe he didn't have the right preparation.
Yeah, maybe travel really impacted him. There's a lot of things that, you know, can come to play, but he is on the board with some good lifts so far. 262.5 kilos for Eric Nemec from Czechia. 10 kilo jump and a 2.5 kilo personal best. Still looking very smooth, 3 white lights.
The camera just zoomed in on the knee sleeves. It makes me wonder, what do you make of the difference in terms of knee sleeves at these international competitions?
Can I plead the fifth?
Yes, you can.
I think that it's a controversial topic, but each lifter is subject to their own opinion. Very political answer of me, I know. 265 kilos for Jordi Corbeya Ido from Spain.
Oh, he's pacing for a PB.
And 3 white lights, a good lift. What I will ask you though is, how do you feel about lifters squeezing into much smaller knee sleeves? Do you feel like that actually has a positive effect? I know there's a divisive conversation about that as well.
I think it's way more placebo,
Okay.
but placebo is an effect, so
Yep, better than a nocebo.
absolutely, yeah.
We now have Isaac Asperad from Norway, 270 kilos, a 10 kilo jump to move him into squat bronze for the time being, with Igon to follow.
What I will say though is that you need to adapt the equipment to the technique. So if you don't have a squat with a lot of knee flexion, having stiffer knee sleeves won't make a difference.
Absolutely, no point having all the gear if you don't know how to use it. Small slow down on the way up there, but still moving pretty well for Isaac, and it's a good lift.
Yeah, he seems unfazed, just doing his job.
$270 kilos for Semi Aguin from Germany, a 10 kilo jump to move him into squat bronze, with Gisbertha to follow. 15 kilos below his best, so hopefully something well within his wheelhouse.
Still moving great.
Yeah, that was really nice second attempt. Very, very comfortable. New white lights. $280 kilos for Denzel Gisbertha from the Netherlands. 12.5 kilo jump to move him into squat gold for the time being, with Angrisano and Lappi to follow. Just 5 kilos off his personal best.
Oh, that's work.
But it's good work. 3 white lights.
He works out the platform like, that was so-so.
Yeah, so many lifters are so nonchalant, and it's just the energy and level of arousal they carry on the platform. Whatever works for them. 282.5 kilos for Luca Umberto Angrisano of Italy to move from squat bronze into gold for the time being, with Lappi to follow.
If this one goes through, that guarantees him a medal.
A bit of a fight there, but I think that might have guaranteed him a medal.
And we were mentioning the aggressiveness and the squat calls from Team Italia, and there you have it. But if it works for a medal, might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, and like you said, that did in fact guarantee him at very least the bronze. We now have our final second attempt. Nico Lappi from Finland taking a 10 kilo jump to 290. This of course will move him back into squat gold, ahead of Angrisano.
His opener looked like he just sat down and got back up with an empty bar. This one's a bit more work, but still fair for a second attempt.
Yeah, and you know what, with 290 kilos in his back, I'd expect it to look like a little bit of work.
I'm hoping for a 300 squat. I'm hoping.
I'm sure he is as well. I know Team Finland will put in what they think is safe or the right decision, but he has such a tremendous lead that we'll see what they do. We now move through to the third round, including our second round. Lappi leading with 290 kilos. That secures the gold on squat for him. And Grisano in silver and Gisbertha in bronze. Andres Golai retrying 240 kilos now. Just couldn't get that momentum going out of the hole last time. And exactly like we said, controlled it so much better, and it worked out for him.
What a difference between the second and the third.
And you can see here, opposed to his second, where he quickly bounced into the hole and lost that tension, controls it all the way through.
Yeah, linear speed on the way down. Nicely executed.
247.5 kilos for Luka Hrgrek from Croatia. 7.5 kilo jump to match his personal best. A relatively easy looking third attempt for Luka. Good lift.
Maybe saving some gas for a huge deadlift.
Stepan Romic from Croatia out next. He's a personal best of 250 kilos, going for 257.5 kilos in his third and final squat.
And I think we're going to see a lot of those PB attempts in the third round of squat of the 93A group.
Lovely third attempt, a good lift.
Great work for sure. He's happy with that one, and rightfully so. Great squat execution.
262.5 kilos for Great Britain's Jonathan Lewis. 7.5 kilo jump for a 2.5 kilo personal best. Now the second was so good, we said at 12.5 kilos it could have been justified, but perhaps he's a lifter that just moves well until he doesn't. Of course he is shooting for that silver, and of course doesn't want to lose out on any kilos.
Yeah, because it's a close battle.
Yeah, it really is, so perhaps a sensible decision here. Let's see how this moves.
I mean, that could have been a second.
Yeah, 3 white lights, a good lift. And it's easy to say now, maybe an extra 5 or so on top of that could have been there, but there's a lot of factors to counter, and I suppose, including leaving some energy for perhaps a world record deadlift.
That was what I was going to say. I would forgive him if he attempts a record.
But only then?
Yeah.
Okay. Kerry Agabi from Ireland, 265 kilos, a 7.5 kilo jump from his second. What heart from Kerry Agabi. 3 white lights.
I was afraid when the hips kicked back, but he kept fighting. What a display of heart by this young man. What a fight.
7 squats remaining in this 93 kilo A group. Eric Nemec from Czechia, 270 kilos, a 7.5 kilo jump from his second.
Let's go get this PB, Eric. Up, 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 up.
Wow, another phenomenal grind. Back to back, 3 white lights.
These third attempts are on the money and going well so far. Wow.
Yeah, hitting some numbers bang on, some incredible fights from the athletes as well.
You were mentioning this was going to be a good one, and it is.
I try not to lie when possible.
That's the experienced eye.
Jordi Corbeya Edo from Spain, 275 kilos, a 10 kilo jump from his second for a 5 kilo personal best.
Trying to pay honor to the squat country of Spain.
And I think he did so well. 3 white lights, a good lift.
As they say, muy fácil.
Very, very good. Isaac Asperud from Norway, 280 kilos, another equal 10 kilo jump to match his personal best. Not enough for podium, unfortunately the podium already decided. But enough to keep him within reaching distance of a podium overall. And yet again, a phenomenal fight.
What is this squat session, Amelia?
Absolutely incredible, that's what it is. 3 white lights.
Everyone's bang on so far. Wow.
I'm just tired watching some of these grinds, honestly.
Yeah, it hurts from the inside. We're tensed up here at the commentary booth.
280 kilos for Semir Guin from Germany.
And the German part of the crowd is on their feet, clapping their hands.
And that is another wonderful looking third. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Those lifters are too strong for the commentators anyway, so whatever we say, it seems like it's gonna go through.
Yeah, it is great stuff. And the final three lifters who have the squat medals. Denzel Gisbertha from the Netherlands, 285 kilos, in an attempt to change that medal from bronze to silver, at least for the time being. This is a matched personal best, should he make this.
Let's work for it, Denzel, come on. Ooh.
Just a little bit too much, unfortunately, but still has secured the squat bronze.
Nothing to be ashamed about for Denzel.
What it does mean, however, is that Aguin is that much closer to the podium, as well as Asperud. 287.5 kilos for Luca Umberto Angrisano from Italy. Already has squat silver secured. Lappi has gold secured. This is for an extra 5 kilos on his total. Trying to get as close to the podium as possible. This will put him 10 kilos behind Gisbertha.
Powers through that one.
Another phenomenal effort. 3 white lights, a good lift. And I don't know if I've seen so many back-to-back grinds for quite some time.
And his belt was opened up during the squat.
Wow, let's see that. Wow, didn't even need it shut.
Bracing specialist.
Now our final squat of this session, we have Nico Lappi from Finland. 295 kilos, a 5 kilo jump, already has squat gold, not going for that 300 today. This is half a kilo below his personal best. Just trying to build as big a total as possible. This is an enormous amount of weight. And 2 to 1, a good lift.
And I'm very surprised by the rate light on this one.
Yeah, we'll have a look from the side. Usually it is harder for the centre referee to tell depth, especially with the slightly bigger lads. But it looks good for sure from the side. And that concludes our squat session. A summary here of the men. In squat bronze, Gisberth from the Netherlands with 280 kilos on body weight ahead of Aguin and Asperud. In squat silver, we have Angrisano with 287.5 kilos, and in squat gold, Nico Lappi from Finland with 295 kilos. We're going to head into a 10-minute break now before bench press. Don't go anywhere, and we will see you then. Good afternoon and welcome to the 2024 European Junior Powerlifting Championships here in Pilsen, Czech Republic. We have just had the 63 kilo and 93 kilo squat session, now heading into the bench session. Just a quick summary of the squats here. Walked away with squat bronze, Vesterberg from Sweden with 170, in squat silver, Abora from the Netherlands with 175, and in squat gold, Lucy Robinson from Great Britain with 185 kilos. And speaking of which, out first for bench press we have Lucy Robinson, opening on her personal best of 85 kilos.
Yes, openers ranging from 85 to 107.5. I don't think the European record is going to be threatened today, but we'll see some huge bench presses anyway.
Yeah, well, the world and European record, I believe, is Alba Bostrom's. So, a hard number to reach.
Absolutely.
But some big benches on our way, nonetheless. Nice smooth opener for Lucy. 3 white lights.
That didn't move like a personal best for sure.
Ainhoa Prades Lozano from Spain, 85 kilos for her opening attempt.
Taking time to carefully explain what she wants as an unrack. It is very important to take that time because it can throw you off really bad if it's done unwell.
Three white lights, a good lift. Perhaps a variation of bench press coaches should do then is bad unrack benches. Just get them in there, have a practice.
Sounds dangerous, but I think I like it.
With spotters. 85 kilos for Clara Herlo from Belgium.
Very comfortable opener.
3 white lights, a good lift. Victoria Zapotoczna from Poland upped her opener 2.5 kilos to 90. Looking to stay as close to the podium contenders as possible. She has a bigger deadlift than some of them, so trying to rack up a big subtotal before then to fight for it. 3 white lights, a good lift. .90 kilos in the bar for Skye Moore from Great Britain, opening at her personal best. We've not seen Skye on the international platform since she was a sub-junior, which was only last year, but clearly making some tremendous progress. That's a good lift, 3 white lights.
And she's holding her back walking off the platform.
Not unusual for lifters, especially lighter weight lifters, to cramp a little bit during bench. 92.5 kilos for Betty Abora from the Netherlands, opening 2.5 kilos below her personal best.
Okay.
Yeah, just like her squat opener, lovely and easy. 3 white lights. Astrid Edvardsson from Sweden, opening at 95 kilos, 2.5 kilos below her personal best.
She's on the outside looking in at that race for the podium. She might creep up on it, but she needs someone to slip up. Smooth.
3 white lights, a good lift. Elena Zuccaro from Italy, 95 kilos for her opening attempt, 2.5 below her personal best. Another lifter, you know, a little while off the podium, but should she have a good day and somebody else or a couple other people have a bad day, she certainly could push for that position. It seems like a bench medal right now is the goal.
The lightest lifter almost opening last in the bench press event is quite rare. Bench is the lift that's most affected by weight.
And demonstrates a big sink there.
Absolutely.
3 white lights, a good lift. You can see here her touching point. She sinks it into her body to reach that elbow depth and get some momentum from her ribs.
But that sink is a double-edged sword because you need to really pause for the chef referee to give you the command.
Absolutely.
It might take longer to receive the press command, sorry.
Elsa Prandi Marino from Spain, 100 kilos, dropped her opener from 102.5. Not in contention for medals overall, but definitely for a bench medal. So I think looking to play her cards right here.
No troubles there.
No, that's a lovely opener. 3 white lights, good lift. And sometimes we see that because the kit they warm up with isn't necessarily always the kit they have on the platform, so they're not sure how their bench will respond to it, because it really, technical lifters can make a difference. Hilma Westberg from Sweden, our heaviest opener of the flight, 107.5 kilos, opening on her personal best. Of course, the world record held by fellow Swede Alba Bostrom. A little hard off the chest. I want to wait till the lights. I was a little worried she might get elbow depth call. Yeah, so we'll have a look at that again in the replay.
And I feel that Hermreich almost exhausted her. It was a bit too long for good. Yeah, that left elbow looks questionable. The right is fairly low enough to me. Oh, and unfortunately the jury has overruled the previous lift.
Unfortunately, just the elbows too high on that. She's going to have to reattempt that on her second attempt, and she's a contender for overall podium, so that might hurt her. Now back to the top, Lucy Robinson for her second attempt, 90 kilos, a 5 kilo jump from her opener, and a new personal best on her second. And that is a easy second attempt. There's a lot going on the screen right now. Just going to wait to see. Perfect elbow depth there, exhibited from Robinson. Just take a moment to thank our sponsors, SBD, ESN, and Visit Malta. Without them, none of this would be possible. So just want to take this moment to thank them. Of course, we see a lot of the SBD singlets. ESN are here providing protein and nutrition, and we were only in Malta a few weeks ago, and of course that was a good lift for Lucy Robinson. We move on now to Ainhoa Pradas Lozano from Spain, 90 kilos for a matched personal best.
I like that fist bump for chemistry with the spotter that unracks the bar. It makes for good luck.
Good to appreciate the people keeping you safe.
For sure. Great second attempt from Ainhoa.
Yeah, very nice, easy, breezy second attempt. 3 white lights. Clara Hutter from Belgium, 90 kilos on the bar, a 5 kilo jump from her opener.
Huge support from the Belgian team. Nice.
Yeah, still moving really quickly. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Let's hope she can keep that pace going for a personal best on the third, or at least matching it.
Sky Moore from Great Britain taking a 2.5 kilo jump to her second, 92.5, which will be a personal best. I'm wondering perhaps though if this is a slightly smaller jump than they plan to take. Hard to say, different lifters have different jumps they prefer. 2.5 certainly isn't uncommon to see, so let's see how this moves.
This might be unknown territory since it's above her personal best. That looks like a decent second.
You know, it definitely does. It seems like the right decision as well. She does get a yellow from the far side referee. So we'll look at that angle from the side on the replay. Can't seem to see any sorts of lift, so I think she should be okay there. 95 kilos for Wiktoria Zapatoczna from Poland. 5 kilo jump from her opener. A very
What
long
happened
press
there?
command. We'll have a look at the replay. I think she just got a quite long press command. The centre referee is just saying it has to be still on the chest, and it's not even, I think, is the point she was making until that point where she got the press command. And you know, a 5-second hold is long for anybody. So it's a no lift, unfortunately. 97.5 kilos for Betty Obora from the Netherlands. A 5 kilo jump, which I think is more than justified based on her opener. Moves her into bench press silver for the time being. And still moving so quickly for Betty. 3 white lights, a good lift.
She's doing what she should, collecting kilos and preparing for a battle. She's got deadlift in the back of her pocket, so
Yeah, and she's not going to overreach to try and fight for a bench medal when she has the title on her mind. 100 kilos in the bar for Astrid Edvardsson from Sweden. 5 kilo jump for a 2.5 kilo personal best, moving her into bench press silver for the time being.
and 100 kilos in those classes is quite the milestone, to be honest.
Absolutely huge milestone, I think, for any female bencher.
Triple digits.
Looks good. 2 to 1, a good lift. Gets a depth call from the center referee, so we'll have a look here at the elbows. Similarly to her teammate. But I think those elbows are pretty bang on.
This one should pass. Great use of the jab grip to cover the rings.
100 kilos for Elena Zuccaro from Italy. 5 kilo jump to move her into bench press gold for the time being, as she is the lightest in the weight class.
Great leg drive.
And 2 to 1, a good lift. Worrying that leg drive maybe was too good. We'll have a look from the side angle. Yellow usually indicates there's a lift of sorts. I think she should be okay with that. There was some movement, but no lifting.
Oh!
I stand corrected. Unfortunately, it's been overruled by the jury.
I'm also very surprised. From this angle, it looked like she maintained contact, but apparently not.
Jury have a better seat than we do to judge. Now, Elsa Prandi Marino from Spain, 105 kilos. Keeps her in bench press gold for the time being, of course, without Vesterberg having a bench press on the board yet. It's a good lift, 3 white lights.
And this one could be critical.
Yes, Hilma Vesterberg from Sweden didn't manage to get her opener in on bench. It is her personal best as well. Reattempting it here on her second.
She
Needs to
doesn't
find
seem
that
too
elbow
worried.
depth.
She knows she's right in her rally with this one.
And perhaps she knew that her elbow depth was a bit of a risk anyway, and she knows how to adjust it.
She tried. Let's see the standards of the day, how they react.
Looked about the same as the opener in terms of strength, but better for elbow depth, 3 white lights.
Well, actually sunk a bit more, just to correct it.
I feel like she may have even lowered her arch a little bit.
It looks more symmetrical for sure, and a tiny bit deeper, and it passed.
And with that, everybody has a bench press on the board. Now Vesterberg leading in bench press gold with 107.5, followed by Prandi Marino with 105, and then currently sat in bronze, Edvardsson with 100 kilos. Lucy Robinson from Great Britain 95 kilos for a new personal best. A 5-kilo jump from her second to keep her nice and close to Abora. Lucy has a big deadlift on her, but when you're going up against the world deadlift record holder, it's a tough gig. Unfortunately, not quite there today for Lucy.
That was quite a big ask. 5-kilo jump.
Hindsight is 2020. You know, Lucy very rarely misses, but those 5 kilos, you know, might hurt when she's fighting, like I said, a world record holder in deadlifts. Victoria Zapotoczna from Poland, 95 kilos, retaking it after missing it on her second. She just got held for about 5 seconds on her chest. Centre referee said it wasn't even, so therefore she couldn't get the command. And again, held a little bit long there, but manages to fight it up.
It wasn't even, but he was stable, so...
3 white lights, a good lift. Yeah, I'm just telling the story.
Yep.
Saying what I'm seeing. Certainly looked a little bit more down than her second, but you're right, it should be stable. There's no necessary rule about it being even.
As long as it's depth, she should be good.
Ainhoa Prades Lozano from Spain, taking a 5-kilo jump to 95 for her third and final attempt. 95, an extremely popular third attempt in this flight. Five lifters taking 95 kilos for their third and final attempt. And Ainhoa being one of those who gets it successfully. 3 white lights.
I like that walkout, almost dancing off the platform. I love lifters who bring energy to the sport and personality.
Clara Huller from Belgium, 95 kilos. 5-kilo jump for a 2.5-kilo personal best.
We were wondering if she would attempt it or match her previous PR, but she's attempting a 2.5-kilo personal best. Very justifiable jump, looking at the second, so fingers crossed for Clara.
And it is a huge grind, but unfortunately just too heavy. 5 kilos, a bit too much of an ask.
2 for 2 in the bench, 2 for 2 in the squat. Not the best day for Clara.
Often it is the case with lifters, you know, really pushing themselves on their third, there is that opportunity to miss. Sky Moore from Great Britain, taking a 2.5-kilo jump to a third to 95 kilos for a new personal best. Looking to rack up the kilos to get that bronze position ahead of Vesterberg. And that was a perfect third attempt for Moore. 3 white lights, a good lift. And with Vesterberg missing that opening attempt, having to retake it, that could mean good news for Moore. Betty Abora from the Netherlands, 100 kilos to move into bench press bronze for the time being, with Edvardsen and Tucharo to follow.
She's really a triple threat. Squat, bench and deadlift.
Yeah, like I said, at the top nowadays, you can't just be a specialist, you have to be a total specialist, a well-rounded athlete, and Betty certainly is. Big fight is still going. Wow, look at that. She did not stop. I don't know if I've ever seen a bench grind like that. 3 white lights. That was insane. Look at that.
The bar never went uneven. It stayed parallel to the ground all the way through the press movement. Wow.
Oh, we've seen a big grind on her third squat and now her third bench.
I'm speechless.
102.5 kilos for Astrid Edvardsson from Sweden. 2.5 kilo jump to move back into bench press bronze ahead of Abora, with Zucharo to follow, who is lighter.
Oh.
Unfortunately, gets called for depth from centre and the right side referee. So let's have a look at that again in the replay. Coach goes to the jury while the jury look at it. And we'll keep one eye on the jury and one eye now on our next lifter. And the jury's overruled it to a good lift. There's a good lift now.
As I would have expected looking at the replay.
Elena Zucharo from Italy, 102.5 kilos to move her into bench press bronze. Missed 100 kilos. It's gone up 2.5 kilos now in an attempt to get onto the bench press podium. And within throwing distance of overall podium. And it is a good lift. It pays off 3 white lights and moves into bench press bronze, and she will stay there.
She went even deeper than her second to correct.
Yes.
3 white lights. You adapt to the standards. Great reaction from the Italian crew.
107.5 kilos for Elsa Prandi Marino from Spain. This will move her from bench press silver into bench press gold ahead of Vesterberg, with Vesterberg to follow. Three white lights, a good lift, and moves into bench press gold, where only Vesterberg could take that away from her.
She really held her own in this bench press event.
Now, Hilma Vesterberg from Sweden, 112.5 kilos, not only to move her back into bench press gold from silver, which is already secured, but to go into deadlifts matching Sky Moore for bronze overall. If she misses this, she ends up slightly behind, and Sky Moore has a significantly bigger deadlift, so she needs this, really.
This one's going to be a matter of both standards and strength for Hilma.
Strength was there, were the standards.
I'm worried.
2 to 1, a good lift. We'll keep our eye out for the jury and we'll have a look ourselves. She got called for elbow depth, so we'll have a look at the depth here on the replay.
That left one is worrying to me.
And for now, she is in bench press gold and goes into deadlifts tied with Sky Moore. Bench press bronze, we have Zucharo from Italy with 102.5 kilos and body weight ahead of Edvardsson. In silver, Prandi Marino from Spain with 107.5 kilos. And I believe in bench press gold, we have Vesterberg from Sweden with 112.5 kilos. Quick look at the subtotals here. If you look below the totals, as we head into the 93 kilo A group, and kicking us off, Luka Hrgrek from Croatia, 25 kilos. You can only imagine he's dealt with some shoulder or pec issue coming to this competition.
Heartbreaking, really. When you do a full preparation and then you get hurt. Very frustrating.
And no surprise, it is a good lift, 3 white lights. But phenomenal job. I'm sure we'll see him not come out for his second and third now, just X them out. Slightly quicker round for the rest of the lifters now.
Could you imagine? 100-kilo jump, back on the platform.
You know what, you say that, I have seen that before.
Oh, really?
Honestly, and you would be surprised sometimes how successful it is. I wouldn't recommend it though.
Oh, me neither.
Eric Nemec from Czechia, 140 kilos, 10 kilos below his personal best. Three white lights, a good lift. Kerry Agabi from Ireland, 147.5 kilos for his opening attempt. 7.5 kilos below his personal best. And that is a good lift, 3 white lights.
A vast majority of the lifters have adopted chalk on the back, but not all of them for chalk on the glutes. What do you make of that?
I think that I personally don't think there's necessarily as much a need for chalk on the glutes, and if anything it brings attention to perhaps some potential lifting, in my opinion. How about yourself?
I agree, it gives the illusion that it's harder to maintain contact and catches the eye of the referee, so I don't think it's as important as it is on the back.
Luca Umberto and Grisano from Italy, 157.5 kilos. Saying that, each to their own, of course. There's just our opinion. Wondering if he jumped the command there. Yeah, you can play the game of I'm going to meet the command, and that is pressing at the exact moment the center referee says press instead of waiting. But the risk you run there is if it's any sooner, like it was here, you've jumped the command.
Some lifters have really mastered this, but unfortunately this one doesn't go through.
Very easy though, just needs to listen out for his second attempt. Denzel Gisbertha from the Netherlands, 160 kilos for his opening attempt.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Italian team went up anyway.
This is something that seems to make sense in this scenario, and it looks like they have.
Easy opener for Denzel.
3 white lights, a good lift. Stepan Romic from Croatia, 160 kilos for his opening bench. Three white lights, a good lift.
Already celebrating.
If you celebrate every step, the journey becomes a joy, doesn't it? Jordi Cabello Edo 165 kilos.
That sounded very post things.
I'll write it down.
Another easy opener.
3 white lights, a good lift. Now have Jonathan Lewis from Great Britain, opening with 167.5 kilos. Has upped his opener by 2.5. I think looking to stay ahead in silver. There's been some tricky play with openers, as we'll get to later on in the flight, but for now we'll see how this moves for Jonathan. It's very comfortable.
Yeah, moving up seemed justified for sure.
3 white lights, a good lift.
And I just want to give a quick shout out to the spotters and loaders. They are lightning fast, keeping the lifters safe and the competition on pace. So shout out to these guys.
Andras Gallet from Hungary, 175 kilos for his opening bench. Good lift, 3 white lights.
Only 3 more openers to go.
First of which is for Nico Lappi from Finland. On prognosis, our leader by quite some way at this point. Opening on 175 kilos, his personal best. You don't normally see one of the biggest benches also being one of the biggest deadlifters.
Yeah, there's a saying for bench press is last out, first in.
Yeah, absolutely, and seems not to be the case at all with Lappi. 3 white lights, a good lift. Seems he's one of the last out for all 3 disciplines, and that's why he's so far in the lead as it stands.
That's a flex.
Yeah, absolutely is. Now, one of the controversial moments we've already had, Semi Aguin from Germany has upped his opener from 165 kilos to 180. Quite a significant way, and that has shot him up at the leaderboard to fight for that podium position.
Yeah, very substantial increase indeed.
And he's not the only person who's done so. Let's see how this moves for Semi. And
Wow.
it moves very, very well. 3 white lights, a good lift.
I like that teams are playing the game even more as the year goes on. The
Yeah,
strategical aspect of the game is so interesting.
and 165 did seem particularly low with his personal best, or nominated bench as 200. So this makes a lot more sense. Another lifter to do almost the exact same thing, going from 175 to 190. Isaac Aspered from Norway has upped his opener. And this, again, catapults him right into the position to fight, not just for podium, but also for that silver position with Semi and Jonathan.
Oh, this bench battle is going to be interesting, Amelia.
Yeah, I think so. I think the battle overall is going to be interesting. It's getting closer and closer. and you know, even closer than we thought it was going to be before, which was in fact pretty close. And that concludes our first round of bench press, with Ulbar and Grisano getting a bench on the board. Just skipped the press command, but has gone up anyway, so not a strength issue. I'm sure that's something he can come back and get on his second. Aspera leading with 190 kilos, followed by Ayuin with 180, and Karas currently from the B group, 175. Eric Nemec from Czechia, 145 kilos for his second attempt. Three white lights, a good lift. Kerry Agabi from Ireland, 155 kilos, 7.5 kilo jump from his opener to match his personal best. Clip the rack a little bit, but I don't think it caused him too much problem.
Doesn't feel like it. Equal personal best.
3 white lights, a good lift. Luca Umberto and Grisano from Italy, yet to have a bench press on the board, just jumped the press command. A little too eager in his opener. It's gone up anyway. The weight was very, very comfortable. I can see why they've done it. Just need to listen out for that press command this time. This time he does, and it is a good lift, and he's on the board.
Great call by the Italian team of going up anyway. It's an easy, and you don't want to lose too much ground in the race for a potential top 5 finish.
Yeah, collecting team points where they can for best team at the end of the week. Denzel Gusbertha from the Netherlands, 167.5 kilos. 7.5 kilo jump for a matched personal best. Three white lights, a good lift. A little bit more work this time round.
I'm expecting a smaller jump from the second to the third for sure.
Stepan Romic from Croatia taking a 7.5 kilo jump to 167.5 for second attempt.
Is he going to celebrate this time? Oh no. Too bad.
3 white lights, a good lift. Day's not done yet.
True.
Jordi Corbella Edo from Spain, 172.5 kilos for his second attempt. $7.5 kilo jump from his opener.
Stop. Press. Back.
Lovely soft touch on the chest there. 3 right lights. The advantage, of course, of having a soft touch is usually the lift will get granted with a quicker press command.
True. It is good for lifters that have a huge capacity to extend the ribs and the rib cage while still getting enough depth.
Jonathan Lewis from Great Britain, 175 kilos.
Stop. Press. Back.
And just like his squat, very, very controlled all the way throughout.
It looks like he helped his game in the bench press. That was just 2.5 away from his personal best. Hard to tell, but just looking at the replay.
Andres Gale from Hungary, 185 kilos. 10-kilo jump from his opener to move him into bench press silver for the time being, with Lappi, Aguin and Asperud to follow.
Stop. Press. Back.
That is a good lift, 3 white lights. And not a contention for a medal overall, but certainly could fight for a bench press medal. $185 kilos for Nico Lappi from Finland to move him into bench press bronze. This would be a 10-kilo personal best. Let's move him into bronze as he's heavier than Andras.
And depending on how deadlift goes, he might be a threat to the podium. Best lifter overall. Behind the 83s of yesterday.
3 white lights, a good lift and slowed down. I expect to see a much smaller jump to his third, but building up a really quite monstrous total. Semir Guin from Germany taking a 10-kilo jump to 190 for his second attempt, and this will move him into bench press gold for the time being, with Isaac Asperud to follow.
Stop. Press.
He
That
really
is
is
a-
a great bencher.
Yeah, that's a good lift. 3 white lights. And I think he's almost annoyed how easy it was. I think he wanted more on the bar.
Pissed off for greatness, as Russell Horry would say.
And I'm sure we'll see that 200 on the bar for his third attempt. He's pushing really hard, not just for bench medals, but podium overall. As is our next lifter, Isaac Asperud from Norway. 197.5 kilos for his second attempt. This will take him back into bench press gold from silver ahead of Aguin.
Stop. Press.
Very sturdy looking second attempt. Three white lights, a good lift, moves back into bench press gold. And before we head into the third attempts, Aspera leading with 197.5. Aguin in silver as it stands with 190, and in bronze, Andras from Hungary, 185. For his third and final attempt on bench, 147.5 kilos for Eric Nemec from Czechia, landing just short of his personal best of 150.
Great choice of attempt for a third.
3 white lights, a good lift.
Let's go,
160 kilos for Kerry Agabi from Ireland. 5 kilo jump from his second, a new personal best. Should he make this?
I remember he clipped the rack during his second attempt. If you can avoid doing that, I think it's gonna go through.
Yeah, that is much smoother. Looks good from here. And it is 3 white lights, a good lift. A new personal best. Luca Umberto Angrisano from Italy taking a 5 kilo jump to 167.5 kilos. He jumped the press command on his opener, managed to go up and get it on his second for a new personal best. Big effort there from Luca. Good lift, 3 white lights. Eight bench presses remaining before we head through to a short break prior to deadlifts. First up we have Stepan Rumic from Croatia. 170 kilos to match personal best. 2.5 kilo jump from his second.
Much better than his second attempt.
3 white lights, a good lift. $172.5 kilos for Denzel Gisbertha from Netherlands. 5 kilo jump from his second. And a new personal best. Should he make this?
He missed his third squat for only a few grams. Let's hope this is not the case this time. Big brace as he hunch-racks the bar.
And that is a phenomenal third attempt. Every kilo he could have had, he got. 3 white lights.
The women from Netherlands have been competitive for a long time now, and the men are slowly catching up.
180 kilos for Jonathan Lewis from Great Britain. A 5 kilo jump from his second. Now on prognosis in third overall, with Guin and Asperud both sneaking up there a little bit. He's going to want every kilo that he can gather. Of course, you know he has a world record level deadlift in him, so that certainly will help when we get there.
Yeah, just looking at the opener, I'm afraid.
Stop.
He clipped the rack, but it went up anyway.
Yep, 3 white lights, a good lift, and I was worried that I was going to see some unjust blues there.
And a reminder that clipping the rack isn't prohibited, but you get a light if it's considered helpful.
Yeah, and also if it knocks you down as well, physically,
Yeah.
as well as emotionally, I imagine, as well. Jordi Corbella Edo from Spain, 180 kilos for his third and final attempt to match his personal best. Another equal 7.5 kilo jump.
Stop.
Just too much today for Jordi. Gave everything he had. I just think an equal 7.5 kilo jump, perhaps too ambitious today. Now 4 benches remaining, all fighting for a bench medal. First of which, Nico Lappi from Finland, 187.5 kilos. A 2.5 kilo jump to take him into bench press bronze for the time being, with Galai to follow.
Smart choice, I feel like. It is so hard to repeat these efforts in the heavier rep ranges. Weight ranges, sorry. 187.5 would be a new personal best for Nico.
And it's a nice looking third attempt. 3 white lights, a good lift, and he is on steam to get well into the 800s for his total.
Yeah, pedal to the metal. Let's see at 820. Come on, Nico.
Now looking to move onto the bench podium and knock Lappi off, as well as moving Aguin down for the time being. Andras Galai from Hungary, 192.5 kilos. 7.5 kilo jump from his second for a big personal best, and to secure a bench press medal, at the very least bronze. But it is just too much today.
Maybe a bit too hyped. It was a bit less precise than he was during his previous attempt. I think sometimes arousal could get in the way
Absolutely.
of technical refinement.
It's important for lifters to play around with their arousal and what type works best for them and what level works best for them. It's an important part of learning about yourself as an athlete. Now we have Semir Aguin from Germany, 197.5 kilos, to move him into bench press gold ahead of Asperud for the time being.
He's really playing it well for a podium spot in the end, collecting kilos.
Absolutely. If he gets this, he, on prognosis, is sitting in silver heading into deadlifts. And he does, and I think 200 definitely would have been there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, or maybe not. He gets yellows from the side referees. Let's have a look at that. I imagine that would be from lifting of the glutes, and if it's both sides, you're usually in danger there. And actually, you know what? There could be a case to say he'd be all right there.
The jury is looking at it.
They will look at it, and they have to be in total agreement. We'll keep one eye there and the other eye on Isaac Asperud from Norway. 200 kilos, has bench press gold. This is to get another couple kilos on top of that to fight for a podium position overall. and of course to hit that huge milestone of 200 kilos. And it looks like he has. 3 white lights, a good lift, and a huge milestone.
It's
for
a
the Norwegian.
well-deserved medal.
Yeah, very, very well deserved. He performed extremely well over that bench press session. Now a quick summary of the bench press. Nico Lappi from Finland walking away with bench press bronze with 187.5 kilos. In silver with 190 kilos from Germany, Semir Guen. And in bench press gold, of course, with that 200 kilo bench from Norway, Isaac Asperud. Quick look at the subtotals here. If you just look below the totals of the B group, you can see Lappi leading just by 2.5 kilos currently, actually ahead of Asperud and Guen, but has a big deadlift coming. You can't see Jonathan Lewis there, but he will jump up as deadlifts come in. We're going to head into a 10-minute break now before deadlifts, so don't go anywhere, and we will see you then. Hello and welcome back to the 2024 European Junior Powerlifting Championships here in Pilsen, Czechia. And we have the 63 kilo and 93 kilo juniors for you. If you look just below the totals of the B group, you see the subtotals of the A group as it stands. Of course, subject to change, we have Betty Obora, the current open world record holder in deadlifts, who I'm sure will jump up and put up something pretty special in her deadlift today. I'm very excited to see that. As well as in the 93 kilo lifters, we have a previous world record holder, so I'm sure we are in for a treat in both deadlift and in battle. And kicking us off, we have Elsa Prandi Marino from Spain, 157.5 kilos.
She set the tone. Easy first pull.
Yeah, secures her total. It's a good lift, nice and comfortable. Ana Paredes Lozano from Spain, 157.5 kilos.
And now the sumo gets a very different one. Different kind of grip. Different kind of attack and wedge at the hips. But still a good lift.
Elena Zuccaro from Italy, opening on 162.5 kilos. Three white lights, a good lift.
So far so good.
One 162.5 kilos for Hilma Westerberg from Sweden. Fighting for that podium position versus Sky Moore and Edvardson, her teammate.
Total secure. The battle is on between the two ladies.
Clara Höller from Belgium, 170 kilos for her opening attempt.
She's at least trying to grab a top 8 finish today. And it starts with a deadlift opener.
Three white lights, a good lift. Now the next 4 out of 5 lifters have changed their opening attempt, first of which being Sky Moore from Great Britain, opening 182.5 kilos. 5 kilos down from what she originally had down as an opener, 187.5. Good lift, 3 white lights. It's hard to say, especially with conventional, how hard something looks for a lift if we aren't used to seeing them lift too frequently.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to make any prognosis because it's very hard to gauge, especially considering that during the third deadlift, this is where magic happens. Another gear kicks in, and lifters can find resources inside of them and from the crowd that weren't expected. So we'll see how this goes down, but we're in for a good one for sure.
I mean, it's very, very close, all on match prognoses at the time being. One being Edvardsen from Sweden, 190 kilos, who upped her opener from 180 against Vesterberg, Moore, and Zapochna. 3 white lights, a good lift. And it really will come down to who can make those bigger jumps, who is going to miss and who won't. Very, very close for that fight for bronze.
Yeah, if you're hunting, you've got to push and not overreach. And if you're hunted, you've got to be on your A game and play the game rightly. If you're a lighter, be conservative. Otherwise,
Ooh, so Victoria Zapochna, who is fighting for podium, upped her opener by 10 kilos, and that might turn out problematic if that's how it looks.
yeah, that was unexpected for sure.
So she doesn't get it this time round, has another attempt of it, but
I think she relaxed early.
yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out. Lucy Robinson from Great Britain now, 195 kilos. Dropped her opener from 197.5, so only slightly, but making sure she secures the total before she has that big push. Silver is more or less in the bag for her, should this go well. And it seems to, 3 white lights, a good lift.
It's like GB is gonna stay, collect some team points.
I think that's their plan. I imagine they'll hope that Abora messes up, but deadlift I don't think is the place that she'll do so. Betty Abora from the Netherlands, world record holder, not just in the juniors, but in the opens for deadlift at 232 kilos. Opening here to secure her total, 210 kilos.
I'm excited to see how this one moves. Oh.
Wow. And I'm glad the
Okay.
screen came back because we would have missed it. It was that fast.
You did not oversell it for sure.
3 white lights, a good lift, and I think we'll see her stab her open world record today. And how exciting is that?
Wow. What was that?
And
Straight up warming up on the platform.
that concludes our opening attempts. Ulba Zapochna getting that in on the board. Of course, Abora leading with 210 kilos, just behind with 195, Robinson, and in bronze currently with 190, we have Edvardsen. Elsa Prandi Marino from Spain, 167.5 kilos, a 10 kilo jump from her opener. Still very comfortable. 3 white lights. Elena Zuccaro from Italy jumped 7.5 kilos to 170 for her second attempt. Oh, Quite
Didn't expect that.
surprising. Yeah, let's have a look at that again on the replay and see if it was anything other than potentially strength. Sumo, of course, being slightly more technical. But it doesn't look like anything broke down to me, at least.
Yeah, it looked like strength.
We'll have to wait to see for that third attempt if she can come back and get it. Now, Ainhoa Prades Lozano from Spain, 170 kilos. 12.5 kilo jump from her opener.
I like when you can see that switch on and lifters getting in the zone.
And it still moved just about as well as her opener. 3 white lights, a good lift. Yeah, I can see her giving herself a little bit of a pep talk there, some positive self-talk. Hilma Westerberg from Sweden, 170 kilos. The lightest of those fighting for the bronze medal. And 2-1, a good lift. That left side referee just not quite happy with the lockout. Let's have a look there.
Hard to see from this angle, but
I think she should be fine with that. We move on now to Clara Hallo from Belgium, 177.5 kilos, a 7.5 kilo jump from her opener.
I like the call. It wasn't so easy that you could jump 10 kilos.
Just a bit too much still with that 7.5, unfortunately, but she says she wants to do it again.
I wonder if she was not let forward too much compared to what she usually does. And so the knees locked out early and there's nothing you can do about it.
We'll have to see. Wiktoria Zapatoczna from Poland now up to her opener by 10 kilos and seemed to struggle with it on what seemed like strength. And I'm hoping it's not. She's reattempting it now on her second. And it is hard, but she is doing better with it this time, but I don't think well enough. Oh, I take it back. Ignore everything I just said. It's 2-1, a good
Not
lift.
yet. You might be right, depending on the jury. But yeah, the call surprises me too. Feel like the lockout was iffy and justified blue lights too. So
But it remains a good lift for now. Sky Moore from Great Britain will take a 10 kilo jump to 192.5 to match her personal best. So moves her into deadlift bronze for the time being. And this is exactly why we said we don't want to judge how she moves a deadlift based off her opener, because it moves more or less the same speed.
absolutely, yeah. And it really doesn't look like she's fresh out the sub-juniors.
No,
She's
she's
having a great outing today.
exactly very strong and also keeps very composed on the platform. Astrid Edvardsson from Sweden, 197.5 kilos, 7.5 kilo jump.
That would already be a nice personal best and right under the 200 milestone. Setting up the long arms. Great use of the Q knees out at the bottom.
Yeah, lovely second attempt there. 3 white lights, a good lift, and moves into deadlift silver for the time being, with Robinson and Abora to follow. I think Abora more or less nailing down that deadlift gold. Silver still up for grabs for the time being. Lucy Robinson from Great Britain taking a 10 kilo jump to 205 to move back into deadlift silver from bronze. Just 2.5 kilos below her personal best. Another very solid looking second attempt, and a good lift.
I think that really puts a nail on the coffin for second position.
Yeah, it is a really big ask for any of those fighting for bronze to push for silver, and if they do, they miss out on the fight for bronze, and it's too much of a risk, really. Now, 225 kilos for Betty Abora from the Netherlands. Not only is this just 7 kilos below her open world record, it also secures her a 500 kilo total on her second attempt, which is absolutely mammoth.
You know what? I'm gonna just sit back and enjoy this one.
So you should. And you should at home as well. We are getting close to that open world record. And it's still moving like a warm-up. What can you say? 3 white lights, a good lift, and you know what, Alex? You can only go to a world record from there.
Of course, there's no other way around it. Come on, load it.
How exciting is that?
I'm smiling on my seat. What is this? It's way too easy.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. And that, of course, concluding our second round of deadlifts. Who else but Betty Abora to be leading with deadlift gold? No one's going to snatch that from her. Lucy Robinson in silver with 205 kilos, and currently in bronze, Astrid Edvardsen. And overall leading by 20 kilos, Betty Abora from the Netherlands, behind Lucy Robinson, who is then 27.5 kilos ahead of bronze. Elena Zuccaro from Italy now, reattempting 170 kilos.
It looked like strength.
Yeah, I was going to say that. So let's see, what do you reckon here?
Yeah, the same again.
And I think it was just too much of an ask. Perhaps, like you said, Team Italy opening slightly too heavy sometimes.
And maybe she was lighter than she would have expected, because she's the lightest of the flight. And that could impact performance too.
We've started seeing a lot of attempt changes come in from those fighting. We've seen Vesterberg change their attempt in hope that someone above her will miss. Now, though, we have Elsa Prandi Marino from Spain, 175 kilos. A big milestone deadlift as well, getting those 3 red plates on the bar. Great effort there from Elsa. And it is a good lift, 3 white lights.
Right on the money. Back-to-back Spanish lifters.
And now Prades Lozano from Spain, also attempting 175 kilos for that 3 red plates aside.
And that signature little pep talk before setting up. That little hand nod, meaning, oh, there was more to this one.
3 white lights, a good lift. $175 kilos remains on the bar for Hilma Westerberg from Sweden. Keeps her in bronze for the time being and is hoping that both Edvardsen and Moore miss. Although I imagine should she get this, gives Moore the opportunity to drop. And no, unfortunately not there, which I can only imagine in the next couple minutes we'll see both Edvardsen and perhaps Moore dropping to what they need. But one can't drop without the other, so they're stuck where they are right now in a stalemate. 177.5 kilos for Clara Holo from Belgium, reattempting it after missing on what seems like strength on her second.
But it looked like that third deadlift effect has kicked in. You can see the look on her face is different. She's talking to herself. The eyes look more determined. Hoping for a different outcome this time. Let's go, Clara.
Wow, and it looks like a different outcome. What a phenomenal effort, and a good lift.
The third deadlift effect is real, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's hope it stays its course for the next 5 lifters. Especially as one has a world record attempt. Now, 197.5 kilos being loaded on the bar for Skye Moore of Great Britain. A 5 kilo jump, and this will move her into bronze overall, with Edvardsen to follow. Doing everything she can to medal overall.
Yeah, that's the right play. Expecting a big pull here from Skye Moore. Let's go, GB.
And she gets it going. Just needs to lock it out, and she does. Pulls herself into bronze, 3 white lights, and I'm waiting to see that drop from Team Sweden, from Edvardsen. Only 19 years old, Skye Moore, absolutely incredible.
Hats off to her for sure.
We now have Victoria Zapatoczna from Poland, 200 kilos. Missed her opener on what seemed like strength, got it on her second.
This one's going to be a big ask, Emilia.
Yeah, and it's a big milestone at that, 200 kilos. Wow.
It is going to be a big ask, but when you know what you're pulling for, it is very different. What can Victoria do? Yeah, it blocks at the knees. It was going to be a big ask.
Yeah, it's just too much. And I think she was attempting to pull onto the podium, but I think the day, unfortunately, it finished on her second for her.
Yeah, it wasn't there on the day.
Loses nothing by it. She pushed for podium. Now, our final lifter to push for podium and potentially knock Skye Moore off, Astrid Edvardsen from Sweden, to move into deadlift bronze ahead of Moore, but more importantly, into bronze overall ahead of Moore. 202.5 kilos, a 5 kilo jump from her second. All or nothing, she gets 2 bronze medals if she gets this and none if she doesn't.
Absolutely 2 medals on the line for Astrid and the Swedish team. 5 more kilos than the second attempt. It's going.
Oh, but unfortunately it is not there, which means Moore from Great Britain walks away in bronze. Means a 1-2 there for Great Britain in silver and bronze, so the coaching team done very, very well.
Ask the GB coaches during the break, what kind of games are you playing? And they say, don't worry, we're playing games.
And Moore was nominated in 6th, so to come 3rd is incredible. 2 deadlifts remaining from this incredible flight of ladies, first of which your silver medalist, Lucy Robinson from Great Britain, 212.5 kilos for a personal best on both deadlift and on total. This will leave her in a 487.5 finish, still with 1 year left as a junior. And what an end. Oh, what a shame for Lucy there. But she still walks away with a 480 total and your silver medalist today at the European Championships.
And it looks like Lucy and Sky are going to be the two fighting in the upcoming years.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm also getting on my feet for this one, Amelia. Can't wait to see it.
So now our final deadlift of the women's session, and as to be expected, it is Betty Abora, your new European champion, and it is for a world record. And it is not just, Alex, for a junior world record, it is for an open world record to extend her own record from earlier this year. Currently stands at 232 kilos, looking for 233 kilos. 8 kilos on top of that second attempt doesn't seem too much of an ask, so I'm looking forward to seeing what she can put on here.
I don't want to place a bet because I don't want to jinx her, but you know what I would say if I had to.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not a betting woman, but if I had to, one last time today, Betty Abora, 22 years old, attempting to extend her own open world record deadlift, 233 kilos on the bar.
The place is packed. The crowd is ready to see it. Cameras out. Voices ready to scream. It is 2:33
for an open world record attempt. Question, how easy will she make it look? And the answer is very.
What is that?
3 white lights, a good lift, and a new open world record for Betty Abora from the Netherlands.
And a quick dance, hopping up the platform.
Have you
Hats
ever
off to her,
seen
that
a
was
world
amazing.
record look that easy?
No, wow. That was
Absolutely incredible.
almost not a second attempt.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. And a summary of the deadlifts here. Sky Moore in bronze with 97.5 kilos. Lucy Robinson in silver with 205. And of course, with a new open world record, Betty Abora of the Netherlands in gold. And overall, bronze looks very similar. Sky Moore of Great Britain. In silver, Lucy Robinson of Great Britain. And your new European champion with an open deadlift record. And now your best lifter currently in the juniors with a GL of 111.99, Betty Abora of the Netherlands. Now, to settle myself for a little bit before the excitement perks up again, we head into the 93 kilo junior men for the openers of their deadlifts. And kicking us off, we have Andras Gulai of Hungary, 250 kilos.
That looked comfortable.
Three white lights, a good lift.
And these 93s are going to have a lot of work to be as intriguing and entertaining than the 63s, but the battle between 4th and 2nd looks to be very interesting in the 93s.
Yeah, and as I alluded to before, there is a previous world record holder in the juniors in the 93s as well here, so we'll have to wait and see. Stefan Romic from Croatia, 270 kilos now. white lights, a good lift. Jordi Corbella-Edo from Spain, 272.5 kilos. Very easy. And a good lift. And there seems to have been a lot of game playing here in the 93s. I think that's the stark difference between the two classes that we've seen this evening. Obviously, the two lifters upping their bench significantly. Now we have Italy upping their deadlift significantly by 25 kilos. So really pushing each other here to fight for those silver and bronze positions.
The aggressiveness of the Italian has kicked in again.
Yeah, and we'll see if it pays off. We will. Isaac Asperud from Norway, one of the contenders for podium, 275 kilos for his opening deadlift.
Very strong opener.
And a good lift, 3 white lights. Absolutely throws that deadlift at the floor. Kerry Agabi from Ireland, 275 kilos.
The very first beltless puller of the flight.
Definitely becoming more popular. Bit of a speed wobble at the top there, but I don't think it caused him any issues. Does get a yellow from the center referee, perhaps for skipping that command.
And by looking at the coach, it didn't seem like the beltless thing was intentional.
Oh, well, he did very well to do that then. Luka Hrgrek from Croatia, 277.5 kilos.
I think that's the biggest crowd we've had to date for this championship.
Yeah, I think so, and they chose a good session for it.
Fresh off a record, entering a nice deadlift battle again. Oh, another wobble at the top. I'm not surprised by the blue light on this one.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that again in the replay. Yeah, I just see that little bit wobble at the top, but I think he should be okay with that. Semi Aguin from Germany, 285 kilos, a contender for that podium position. And that's a nice looking opener, 3 white lights, and there are quite a few names in the hat for second and third place.
Unpredictable flight at the moment, except first position.
Don't want to say never, but he looks pretty firm in first right now, Lappi.
But we've seen the Spanish put on crazy Hail Mary pulls before.
And the English, the British, sorry. Denzel Gisbertha from the Netherlands, 295 kilos.
Smashing weight on the floor.
3 white lights. Eric Metz from Czechia, 300 kilos. 3 white lights, a good lift.
So far, so good for the 93s. 3 more openers to go.
Now we find out if the risk pays off. Luca Umberto Angusano, who upped his opener by 25 kilos. However, he does have a nominated deadlift of 345 kilos, so I'd imagine this still should be manageable.
Let's hope he waits for the commands this time.
Slow and steady, I would say. Good lift.
One of those technique that is very hard to gauge and to appreciate how difficult it was.
Our penultimate opener now, we have Nico Lappi, our favorite for the crown, opening with 310 kilos. Has a big personal best of 340, some huge pullers in this flight. The world junior record standing at 360.5, held by Nathaniel Messiah of Great Britain, which was broken just a few weeks ago in Malta, previously held by Jonathan Lewis of Great Britain, who is in fact in this flight. Very easy looking opener and a good lift.
So secured for the Finnish lifter.
We now have Jonathan Lewis from Great Britain, 317.5 kilos. Personal best of 355.5. As I mentioned, that was the previous world junior record. This puts him in 3rd overall, heading into 2nd attempts.
What does he have in store for us today?
We won't have to wait too long to find out. Let's see what this 317.5 moves like.
That doesn't seem hard at all.
No, it doesn't move like butter. 3 white lights, a good lift. Let's have a look at that again in the replay. And that concludes our opening deadlifts, with all 12 managing to get one in on the board. Jonathan Lewis from Great Britain leading with 317.5 kilos. In silver currently Nico Lappi from Finland with 310. And in bronze Luca Umberto Angusano with 305. We head now to the 2nd attempts, where Andras Galai from Hungary jumps 15 kilos to 265 for his 2nd attempt. To 1, a good lift. Gets a yellow from the center referee.
I'm not so sure why.
Have a look at that again in the replay.
Oh, because he dropped the bar.
I think perhaps just letting go of the bar a tad too early, but I think the jury seem happy with that.
Weirdly enough.
Luka Hrgrek from Croatia taking a 2.5 kilo jump to 280. And I think the coach pulling him off there, saying there's a misload, but that's what's on the screen. So
I'm not so sure. I think it's the lifter himself that got back into the warm-up area.
Yeah, well, I think both him and the coach look pretty confused with the fact. And to be honest, it's not common to see a 93 kilo lifter or many lifters jump 2.5 kilos from their opening deadlift to their second.
Yeah, he might have missed on the minute for the ticket, and he decided to scratch it.
Yeah, that is exactly what happens. If a successful lift happens and you don't make your attempt within a minute, it goes up 2.5 kilos. And if you don't make it within the minute and it's unsuccessful, it will stay the same.
But we've got Enao who popularized that strategy of scrapping the second.
Yeah, I'm not sure this time it was a strategy and also a mistake. Jordi Cabello Edo from Spain, 285 kilos for his second attempt. 12.5 kilo jump. A jump we're a little bit more used to seeing.
Still comfortable?
3 white lights, a good lift.
I wouldn't be surprised if he makes the same jump from the second to the third.
Stepan Rumic from Croatia, 287.5 kilos. $17.5 kilo jump from his opener.
We've seen him live the moment to the fullest. Every attempt. He's enjoying himself out there as he should. He's having a good day. And that great day continues.
3 white lights, a good lift, just 2.5 kilos below his best. The rankings are going to be jumping around a lot in the next 20 minutes or so, so I'll try to keep you up to date. Isaac Asperud from Norway, 292.5 kilos. This will take him from 5th overall into 2nd overall for the time being. That just shows how many names are in the hat. Still looks like there's plenty left in the tank there.
And what do you make of the lifters changing the placement of the bar on the platform and choosing where to deadlift or not?
Honestly, it varies in reason for the lifters sometimes. Occasionally, after a few days of lifting, there might be a slight dent in the platform, which is what they're trying to avoid. Perhaps they're avoiding any talc or chalk on the platform. So whatever makes the lifter feel comfortable, honestly. Kerry Agabi from Ireland, 302.5 kilos. This is a big jump, 27.5 kilos.
And this time he's wearing the belt.
That should help. Three white lights, a good lift.
It did help indeed.
Yeah, I'm sure that felt much nicer. We now have Semi Aguin from Germany taking a 20 kilo jump to 305, and this will take him from 5th into 2nd for the time being, ahead of Asperud. Three white lights, a good lift.
But as the weight got heavier, I'm starting to notice his pattern changing a little bit, so I'm worried for maybe supporting on the thighs if it gets too heavy on the third.
Eric Nemec from Czechia, 315 kilos, a 15-kilo jump from his opener.
Great slack pull.
A little tricky towards lockout there, but did the job. It's a good lift. $20-kilo jump for Denzel Gisbertha from the Netherlands. This takes him into deadlift silver for the time being and 4th overall.
He was nominated 7th, trying to beat the odds today.
And it's a lovely looking second. 3 white lights, a good lift. Luca Umberto Angosano from Italy taking a 15-kilo jump to 320 to move him into deadlift gold for the time being and to silver overall for the time being, ahead of Egoin. Like I said, it's going to be jumping around a lot in the next 20 minutes. I'll do my best to keep you in the loop. But unfortunately, that big push from Italy to up the opener. What do you think there, Alex?
I think we're witnessing the pattern coming back to bite them. Being too aggressive too early, not paying off for the Italian team.
And that might just knock him out the race. It is too tight to miss lifts. Now our penultimate deadlift from our favorite to win, and if he gets this, I am quite certain he has it locked in. 330 kilos for Nico Lappi from Finland. Moves him into deadlift gold for the time being with just Lewis to follow. Oh,
I was going to say that it didn't look so difficult, but the grip.
now that really does shake things up, because if he doesn't get that on his third, it gives Lewis the opportunity to actually push for the win ahead of Lappi, and that is a real shake-up. And we won't have to wait long to see how Lewis fares on his second attempt, and what a second attempt it is at that. Jonathan Lewis from Great Britain, 340 kilos, a 22.5-kilo jump from his opener. This pulls him into silver overall, just behind Lappi, and within 10 kilos of what Lappi's total is currently.
And we might see the German change his opener, his third attempt too.
Lewis is lighter than Lappi as well.
Uh-oh.
Let's see how this moves.
This one's already very important, very indicative of what's going to happen next. Let's go, Jonathan.
And it is easy. Now the question is, do they push for gold or do they secure the silver? And it is a big question mark, because silver maybe not guaranteed with how close it is. But gold, if Lappi misses, within reaching.
If you want to win, you've got to be ready to lose.
Absolutely, I couldn't have said it better myself. And if they shoot for gold, and Lappy gets it, they're going to end up with silver. So perhaps that's a good route to go.
It's still good points for team battle, so I think they should reach for it.
And a little bit more exciting than I think we expected for the very top. And we know that he has a world record potentially in him. Our third round of deadlifts now. Andras Galai from Hungary, 280 kilos for his third and final attempt.
A likable lifter. But yeah, strength was not there for this last attempt. And the B group was a bloodbath during the third attempt.
Yeah, it really was. Not many of them making a successful third attempt. And let's see if the A group is any different. They're really pushing each other hard, so I expect to see some misses. Stepan Romic from Croatia, 295 kilos. Just glued to the floor, unfortunately. Jordi Cabello from Spain, 295 kilos, a 10-kilo jump. His final attempt.
And grip again.
Not there, unfortunately. Still walks away with that 285 from his second.
It really looked like he had the strength, just not the grip.
Now, Isaac Asperud from Norway, 305 kilos, an attempt to pull into silver ahead of Lewis. Of course, with Lewis to follow.
He's already above his previous personal best. He's been having a great day, great progression was made.
It's a big ask for a third, but it is for a potential medal. But it was too much of an ask today. Now we have Luka Hrgrek from Croatia, who I think just got the wrong number for their second attempt. As jumps now anyway, 25 kilos on top of something that he didn't even attempt, which is near 30 kilos.
I hope he pulls something in the warm-up room,
Well,
because that's a long flight. You don't want to be cold to put on 305. And it looks like he is.
yeah, unfortunately, I don't think in the time he had, he went and loaded what he needed, you know, 290 perhaps.
I would have reloaded the first attempt.
Yeah, he
Not
loses
to be
nothing
cold.
though, really. I mean, it wasn't necessarily the smartest decision, but he
Of course.
wasn't fighting for podium.
Of course, of course.
Which also, you know, on the other side of things makes me question why they made that decision. But we live and we learn.
No business rewriting the story.
Now, Semi Aguin from Germany, 315 kilos, a 10-kilo jump in an attempt to pull onto the podium ahead of Lewis for the time being from bronze where he currently sits. And if he misses this, he leaves it open to Gisbertha and Angrisano.
A much needed pull for Semi Hagen from Germany.
It is a big fight, but no, just not there today for Semi.
Now his destiny is not in his hands. He'll have to sit back and watch his last 6 deadlifts.
Yeah, and like we said, there are a couple of lifters that might be gunning for that. Kerry Agabi from Ireland, 315 kilos for his final pull for a new personal best on deadlift and a huge personal best on total.
Let's go, Kerry. We want to see a battle. We want to see a fight. Empty the tank on that last one.
So just too much for Kerry today. And if you look at the score sheet, there really
It's
is
bad.
a
It's
lot
bad,
of
Amelia.
missed. Yeah, there's a lot of missed third attempts in the 93s. And bearing in mind, this is the 93s A and B that we're looking at. But I can see 14 missed lifts amongst them all.
That's the whole flight.
Yeah. And let's hope the same doesn't go for Luca Umberto Angrisano from Italy. 320 kilos, an attempt to pull into deadlift silver for the time being, but more importantly, to knock Eguin off of the platform, of the podium.
Oh, and he's switching. He was in sumo.
No, unfortunately, might as well try it, he said. See what I can do, but it means that Germany's Semi Eguin is safe in bronze. No, I lied. He's still got to wait for Gisbertha.
Yep.
There's a lot of names, I've forgotten how many in this fight. But it seems like nobody is challenging the silver. Eric Nemec from Czechia, 322.5 kilos in an attempt to move into deadlift silver. From Eric. Oh.
And no, we are not gonna have a successful attempt, Amelia. What's happening?
Let me tell you this, in a flight of 21, considering A and B group, with just 3 lifters remaining, we've only had 2 successful third attempts, and that is absolute insanity.
Yeah, that's almost unheard of. Yeah, I'm also getting on my feet for those last 3 deadlifts. It's a crazy session, Amelia.
It really is, and looking to move on to the podium, sat in deadlift silver currently, definitely has secured himself a deadlift medal, but the last person to contest Semi Eguin for that bronze overall, Denzel Gisbertha from the Netherlands, 322.5 kilos, 7.5 kilo jump from his second to pull him into bronze place overall.
That would be a massive achievement for someone nominated 7th. Let's go, Denzel.
And he manages to do so. We wait for the light, but it is a good lift, and he knocks Team Germany off of the podium and moves himself into bronze. A good day for Team Netherlands,
Wow,
it seems.
yeah. Great last pull. Massive performance from him today.
And just 2 deadlifts remaining, and we didn't expect to say this, but it will determine who will be European champion. And I said never count a deadlifter out. So Nico Lappi made himself vulnerable by missing the 330 on his second on grip. This will move him onto the deadlift podium into silver, but that's not really what he cares about. It will keep him in that gold position with Lewis to follow, who would have to pull something absolutely insane Should Lappy get this, he would have to pull well over the world record. So, for one last time to secure the European title, Nico Lappi from Finland, can he hold on to it where he couldn't on his second attempt?
The tension in the room, ladies and gentlemen, for this pool.
And he can't hold on to it, which means he is vulnerable to attack. And as expected, Team GB has dropped to what they need to attack that. And it is 350 kilos. It's not a small deadlift by any means. It's still a big ask, but it's just 10 kilos more than Lewis's second attempt. So this is to match his total at a lighter body weight. Silver is already secured for Jonathan Lewis of Great Britain, but this is to take the European title.
Yeah, screw the world record when you can take a title, that's for sure.
Absolutely, he's had the world record before, he's never had the title, and this is his opportunity to take it. And if he couldn't get the world record, this is another fantastic win. Now, Jonathan Lewis from Great Britain, 350 kilos, already has deadlift gold. This is to move him into gold overall to match Lappy on body weight.
If someone can do it in this fight, it is Jonathan Lewis with that deadlift of his.
One final pull. He's pulled this weight before to match totals at a lighter body weight. Jonathan Lewis of Great Britain, last pull of the night.
Come on!
And there it goes, he locks it out. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your new European champion, Jonathan Lewis from Great Britain. And what a day he has had. He has had the exact day he needed to have to win.
Sensational last pull, sensational performance.
Absolutely phenomenal. Let's get a summary of that incredible session. In deadlift bronze, we have Eric Nemec from Czechia, 315 kilos. In deadlift silver, we have Denzel Gisbertha from the Netherlands, 322.5 kilos. And in deadlift gold, with that final pull, Jonathan Lewis from Great Britain with 350 kilos. And overall in bronze, Denzel Gisbertha from the Netherlands with a total of 775 kilos. In silver overall, Nico Lappi from Finland with a total of 792.5 kilos. And in a big upset with the same total as a lighter body weight, your new European champion from Great Britain, Jonathan Lewis. Ladies and gentlemen, what a pair of sessions we just had back to back. What a treat. We are going to join you tomorrow at 10 a.m. local time for the 69 and 105 B groups, but do please stick around now for the medal ceremony, and we will see you there.
From Great Britain as well, the silver medalist with 480 kilos in total, Lucy Robinson. After finishing in the podium a couple weeks ago, World Championships in 5:02, the gold medalist, European champion from the Netherlands is Betty Amora. Congratulations to all the great fight. Now please, everyone stand up for the national anthem of the Netherlands. Everyone stand up. Now going down to his white 19 years. The gold medalist from the Netherlands with 280 kilos is Enzo Gichmenka. The silver medalist from Italy with 287.5 best attempt, Luca Umberto Arpisano. Gold medalist with 295 kilos of best performance from Finland is Nico Latti. Thank you. The bronze medalist with 187.5 and from Finland, Nico Latti. The silver medalist from Germany with 190 kilos is Semi Eichen. With 200 kilos best kick, the gold medalist on bench press comes from Norway, Isak Asperud. Medals on deadlift now. With 350 kilos best kick, coming from Czechia, the bronze medalist is Erik Nemec. So the medalist comes from the Netherlands with 322.5 best attempt, Enzo Gichmenka. Of course, the gold medalist with 350 kilos best deadlift from Great Britain, Jonathan Lewis. 775 kilos, Denzel Gischbecker. The silver medalist after a fierce battle with 792.5 from Finland, Nico Lappi. We are starting to take history because the winner in this 93 weight class, the European champion from Great Britain with 792.5, Jonathan Ewing. Now please, everyone stand up for the national anthem of Great Britain. Thank you very much. So that concludes our last session of the day. Tomorrow we will go back at it. We will start at 10 a.m.